we have a water line slab leak. So there's a water line underneath the floor leaking. This appears to be our feed because it's the biggest. Comes up, that's going to be cold. This back here goes up to feed this unit, and then it comes back down, cold to feed the unit and hot to feed this unit. This is a feed for another unit, and this is a feed for another unit. One of these water lines are leaking under the floor. We can hear the water running. The water bill was higher than it should have been. I reached in and kind of felt which line. It seemed to be this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut into this line, install a valve, shut it off, turn the system back on, and find out what unit don't have water. Okay, I got the valve installed. So what I'm going to do is turn the main water line back on and see what unit don't have water. That was where it was connected. This is the telltale sign of that's the one. This is when you cut into it and it don't have no water in it. It goes straight into the slab, so it's not like it can drain out of a faucet or anything. So what we end up finding out is that abandoned line, or the line right there that was leaking, that went into the concrete slab, that one feeds the unit right next door. So instead of inserting it like we were going to do, we opted to just shoot through the firewall and support wall, or whatever it is. So that's what we're in the middle of doing now. This blue PEX line is going to be our feed, and I'm going to hook it up right here to that PEX adapter so we can convert over from PEX to copper. That valve is in the off position. I just took the handle off so I don't smack it. You can kind of see how I changed the water line back in there a little bit. I made that go up. I'm going to walk next door real quick to show you where it's coming through. Okay, well there's our water line. This particular setup on this side is offset a little bit. So you can see back there where I already put a 90 on the water line and then fished it through from this side. I drilled my hole from the other side, of course measuring to find out where it would end up. So then I put a 90 on my PEX pipe, which is the blue one. And in this unit, our main valve is that one with the red handle. It don't tie off to anything else before it comes up and hits that valve. Then it branches off to everything else. So if we can tie into that line just below the feed of the valve, as you can see it, there's an arrow right there showing that the direction of flow is up. So if we can tie in down here somewhere and cap off where it goes into the wall back there, cap that off or just leave it open, cut into the pipe through here, and then 90 down, we'll be able to pick up our PEX, and then that'll give us a new feed for this entire unit. Looks like somebody else has been in here and ran PEX through the laundry. Okay, so this one's a little bit tricky. If this is your first time doing it, you may not be able to follow or get it because I'm going to be referencing water lines that are inside the wall. So unless you have an understanding of how your property's set up, how the water lines are ran, or I guess just do process of elimination. You know, you shut off the main valve to your unit. This could be in your house or anything. You shut that main valve off, and if it kills everything in the house, and outside like a water spigot or something, then you know you're in good shape. So we're on like the third or fourth video of rerunning or recreating a water line without it going into the slab, because the concrete, we don't want a jackhammer, and the water line was leaking down inside of the slab. So in other videos I showed where we're going to cut into this valve and tap into it. Well, that's what we've done. You can see right there's our main shutoff valve. There's where I cut it. There's our other line back inside the wall where it used to go, which what that line does is it comes from next door up, goes down into the concrete next door and then up through the concrete here. Then it comes up and it used to go straight into our main valve over here. But I cut it, therefore abandoning the line that's inside the wall. Then I just shot 3/4 90 short piece of pipe to a 3/4 by 3/4 PEX adapter. That way I can convert over to PEX piping. I wasn't going to do the 90, but I've got a fresh air intake that I had to hook back up, and it was going to be in the way of the water line. So as you can see, the blue water line is now my 3/4 feed for the house. Same thing that we had before. It's just now that it's PEX. There's where it goes through the wall. And then on the other video you could see where it came through and connected. I may be able to, I'm going to go next door and show you what it looks like over there. Okay, this is the other side. This is where a lot of our work was at, because this is where the manifold's at. And what I mean by manifold is you got your feed, and then the water line distributes to other places, whether it be in the house or whether it be to other apartments. This one is to other apartments. So I recreated how they had the water line before, from here using the same fittings, 90 up, over, down. I've got a valve. That's how I turned the system on and figured out, yes indeed, this water line was leaking and where it went. Because once I had the water on, I went through the building and found out who didn't have water. And so then we abandoned that copper line and shot through the wall. The white plastic that you're seeing around my blue PEX is just a sleeve to help protect it where it goes through the concrete. So then we're going to put everything back together. I probably won't show a video on it, just simply as it would be boring. And I got to put that back in, turn my valve on, and then reinstall the water heater. But this concludes it. If there's any questions, leave them in the comments down below, and I'll be more than happy to answer them.